the Young Adult Cancer Canada had a survivor conference in November, and you were there. What happened? Tell us more.
Yeah, I got to show my brand new film there. It's called Like a Mountain, Mindfulness for Young Caregivers. So I did a sneak peek of that with all the young caregivers. It's amazing. There's probably about 30 caregivers at the conference, most of them dads or husbands or boyfriends, like supporters. And we had this amazing conversation after the story. We watched it and talked about mindfulness, but more deeply about being a caregiver. It was pretty awesome. So I'd actually never seen a group of men open up like that. So
Wow.
It was an amazing hour. We ended up going at almost an hour and a half. It's supposed to be an hour session. We went longer into lunch because the conversation was so great. So that was amazing, getting to watch the film and have a good conversation with it. Also, I talked about storytelling, and then I got to do a mini film festival, which was awesome. I got to share digital stories that I'd created with young adult cancer survivors over the years, and there was 2 of them there in the audience, and so brought them up after we watched their story, talked about it, and yeah, it was just amazing to sort of. Some of them were made like the first one that I showed, a friend of mine, Matt. We made his like almost 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So just hearing where his life is now and talking about that with these 150 young adult cancer survivors and supporters in the room, they just got to see like so much perspective of where Matt was and where he is now. And then there's another amazing stories we watched, and then at the end we got to watch what I called trail notes. It was a little film where I chopped up all my favorite parts of all my movies that I've made over the year about young adult cancer and squashed them all together in 10 minutes. And it was all the trail notes about how to, hike this journey, of how to, hike this path with cancer that I'd picked up from other young adult cancer survivors over the years. And it was incredibly emotional for me to watch that. And also for some of the people in the room, because there's people in those films who aren't with us anymore, and so it was, it was just a really cool experience to get taken back into this young adult cancer world that I don't get to hang out in very much, so connecting with old friends and people at YACC that I just love, and then getting to really share the wisdom I guess I've gleaned over the last 16 years since my own diagnosis. So,
oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Okay, so now I have a question. We're going to treat this like a podcast, apparently.
Yeah.
What have you done that kind of screening at any other conferences where there's a dedicated time where it's more of a screening, or was that the first
yes.
time? Okay.
Yeah, this one was we called it a mini film festival. It was only an hour and a half, right? So, but yeah, I have done other sessions at conferences where all we do is watch stories and talk about them. And I would say that's pretty much all I do at most conferences. They think they may be getting a presentation, but really what they're getting is a story and a conversation. That's what I do. So I've been able to do that lots, but this one was a special one because of my intimate connection with the adult cancer experience, and some of the people in the room, and so it was cool coming back as what you would call maybe an elder of the adult cancer world, right? Being 42 now, right? No longer a young adult, and being able to reflect back on those 2 decades of my life and what they were like, and share some of the wisdom that I've gleaned from that was really cool. So
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were talking about Young Adult Cancer Canada's Survivor Conference recently. I'll put the link in to find out more about their organization. Thanks, Mike.
Awesome.